Welcome to my YouTube channel, Fun and Wellness. I'm Jane, and our topic today will be boosting your immune system. So, first of all, I want to say that I am not a doctor. I am a licensed massage therapist and a licensed esthetician. I teach yoga, and that is how I learned a lot of these tips that I'm going to give to you. So, first of all, we have to talk about what is the lymph system. We know about the digestive system and the nervous system and all, but we really don't talk much about the lymph system. So, you're going to get a lymph system 101 class right now. Okay, so what is lymph? It's lymph itself is a liquid, it's like plasma, and it kind of runs the whole show. So, this whole thing is a liquid system. Where does it come from? It comes from when the heart pumps blood down to the capillaries and bathes the cells in with nutrients and then picks up the waste products from the cells. Then most of the blood or most of that liquid goes into the veins and gets scooped up and it goes right back to the heart because there's pressure in the blood vessels that the blood was pumping, and that pressure goes to the veins and it pumps them back up. But about 30% of that, it leaks and goes in, and it's just in the area around the cells, and that's what the lymph is. And it needs to be collected. And when it's collected, when our muscles move, then that squeezes the lymph and it goes into the lymph vessels and finally into the lymph nodes, and it gets filtered in the lymph nodes, and that's where it gets identified if there's toxic things in there or germs, and things get killed in the lymph cells, and then it goes on and there's a connection. I'll show you what it looks like. So there's parts, all right, there's different parts of the, is that going to work? Okay, there's different parts of the lymph system. And what I did was I got the body shape copied and then I added all the pieces to it. So part of the lymph system is the red marrow in the bones all over. Now, this is just a sample showing you. It's also the spleen where lymph antibody things get built. Okay, and here's the thymus, which is up by the throat there, and that builds T cells, which become your macrophages or your killer white blood cells. And now all these little roundy circles here are the lymph nodes. Notice there's a whole bunch of them around the armpit and a whole bunch of them around the groin. So what happens is fine. The liquid gets leaked out and it finds its way toward these places, these vessels, and then it gets picked up and it gets pushed along by moving your muscles into the lymph nodes where it gets cleaned, and the lymph nodes make white blood cells starting from the T cells there, and kill off or eat things. When you have lymph nodes in your neck and you have a cold, sometimes you can feel them, they get swollen because they're collecting a whole bunch of white blood cells and toxic things. So that's why they swell up. And once they're in the lymph system, let's see, we're gonna come back here. All right. Once it's in the lymph system, it works its way into the back of the heart. It dumps. It follows this chain up there, goes up. There's a right and a left side, dumps into the vena cava. That's the big vein going into the heart. So it all just circulated back to the heart after it's filtered. And okay, so now you have an idea of where these lymph nodes are, because what we want to do is get the lymph going past the lymph nodes so that it gets filtered and cleaned out. And that's basically what the immune system does. and we want to enhance it by having it move. Okay. So the next thing is we'll talk about, I didn't show you the head, okay, but here's a picture of the head. Now these pictures are from when I was in massage school, and they were from a book by the Vodders. It was a couple of doctors who invented figuring out how to move the lymph. So here we have a bunch of them right under the chin, and there's a couple of big ones here. Then this is also part of your parotid glands. And then you have the this thing here is called the water wheel because it collects a lot of the lymph that's in the head. And you've got some nodes in front of the ear, behind the ear. There's one at the divot right in the middle of your occiput there down. And they go down the neck and toward the armpit. And now this picture is kind of creepy, but I really remember it. So I'll give you an idea. And this is also from the lymph drainage therapy book from my esthetician days. So that's the lymph is all over. It's under your skin, and that's the way it flows. So I just think this is kind of a creepy picture, but it shows very well that it goes down here, goes from the middle and goes down to the side, gets collected behind the ear there, and goes down and then works its way to the neck. And these are kind of going down. This was going sideways. These were going down, collecting under the chin and then down to the neck. So what we want to do is move that lymph. Okay, so what are some of the things you can do that helps your lymph get moving and your lymph system functioning? Is you want to drink water, okay? Because you have about 3.5 to 5 liters of blood in your body, but you have 6 to 10 liters of lymph. So it's a lot more, and it needs water to move and to work. So if you don't get enough water, a lot of times you will get, it's called edema, that the water starts collecting in your legs or something and swells up because the body goes, well, I don't have enough water, and so I need to sort of save some just in case, because the heart needs it and the brain needs it, and so it stores it. If you were drinking more water, it would know it's getting enough water so it can flush it through. That's the point. All right, and now let's see. I'm just going to do a little bit of the drainage. This is what the Vodders had developed, this lymphatic drainage, and kind of according to this picture, where when we massage it a little, and you massage it with the weight of a nickel on your skin, so very lightly, like you're petting a cat or a baby. So you go down here. We got this. Okay. So from the middle, remember we followed that path. You want to go that way. You want to go toward the ear, collecting there. And this part goes down. And then finally, you either go down this way or this way and that way toward the armpit. That's how you drain that. And you can do lymph massage on your skin or your whole body. So here's the thing, it's a lot like people lined up for TSA check to get on the airport. Okay, get on the airplane. So if you tried to push the back people into the front, they just get clogged up. Well, that's like what the water is like there. So what you want to do is start closer to the heart, closer to those lymph nodes. You start and you brush very lightly, and that moves that lymph that's just under the skin out of the way. So then you can go down a little further and push the liquid into the next section where you just got the lymph out of there. And you can do that, and you keep doing it. You go up, 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 and then up, 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 up. Now also you can just circular things, so to get the lymph going here. So that's called lymphatic drainage. And now we're going to pause. I'm going to stand up, and if I can pause it. Okay, so now we're going to do some techniques for getting your lymph moving, which is increasing your immunity. First of all, we talked about that the thymus, which is an important part of it. It's right here. Here's my collarbones, and it's about an inch or two down. It's not quite to the sternum, but it's right about there. And we're going to tap it. So either tap it lightly, just tap it just to kind of wake it up, or you can use the flat part of your fingers and thump. We call it thumping, but don't hit it too hard. So it's Tai Chi that tells you to thump it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice Tarzan used to do that. And the apes, I've seen the apes, when they get all excited, they pound their chest. So we're doing that, but it doesn't have to be real hard. So that's thumping your thymus. And also we talked about the drinking water, and we talked about the lymphatic drainage. Okay, so next is we're going to stand up. Now we're going to squeeze our groins and our armpits, because that's where the most of these big lymph glands are. It's where things are collecting, and we want them to move along. So put your foot out, so you're leading with the instep. Put your hand out, and then just cross that leg over. We'll do it 8 times. 3, 4, 5. Just loose. 6, 7, 8. Okay, other side. Lead with the instep. 1, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then also deep breathing is good. So when you breathe in, you want to arch your back a little. And when you breathe out, you want to curl it. Okay, now when you breathe in, and I'd like you to breathe through your nose if you possibly can. You stick your stomach out. Try to get the air down as low in the lungs as you possibly can. And then you expand the midsection all the way around, and then grab a little more air with the collarbone. So I breathe in, stick my stomach out, expand, and grab a little more. Now when I breathe out, I push and I do a little crunch, push my tummy in, get that air, try to push that air out as much as you can. We'll do that again. I'm expanding, I'm arching my back a little bit, and then curling, close, crunching. Now, deep breathing like that gives you more oxygen, and so you have more energy, and it calms your nervous system down. But also, that big lymph node I said that was right above your belly button is really close to the diaphragm. And the diaphragm, it's the bottom of the thoracic cavity or the lung cavity. So at first, it's kind of like this. It's a muscle, and it's like a little hump there. Okay, and now when you breathe in, it pushes down, makes the lung cavity bigger, so it changes the pressure, so air comes in. And then when you breathe out, you relax it, or you push it out, and it comes up in this area. Is smaller now, and the pressure goes out. But also it's close to that lymph node, so it's moving. The movement is what makes things go through the lymph nodes, and that's what you want to do. So that's another way to help improve your immunity. So now we'll do dry brushing. Here's a brush, and I've had this for years. It happens to be a boar bristle brush. It's dry. You don't use it in the shower or anything like that. You just brush your skin with it. And this one's boar bristle, but are sisal, which is a plant-based thing, or you can have even a artificial and man-made, like polyester or something brush. But the most important thing, it has to be real soft. So you start once again, kind of fairly close to where the big lymph is, and then brush lightly. We just want brush, and it's a good thing to do this like before you take a shower. It kind of wakes up your nerve cells endings and exfoliate your skin. So I'm just brushing here, brush, 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 keep brushing. Feels good. Okay, I'm gonna do the hand. So I start up here, get that lymph moving a little bit, soft though, really soft. Don't brush too hard, okay? And then next we go up again. And third time. Or you can do smaller sections if you want, if you have lots of time. All right, now you're not really supposed to use it on your face, but I do kind of a little bit, just to get that lymph moved over to those water wheels and then down. And you can pump here when you've done it, if you want to pump your lymph nodes a little bit to get them working. I wouldn't do it on my forehead, that's too hard. Okay, so then you want to go from the out. Now you want to go toward the middle of the body. And you can go behind, toward the middle of the body. And now the legs. So start at the top part of the legs, do that. I'm doing it quickly. You can take more time if you want to do it when you're doing it at home. It's best to do it on just skin. Even the butt, you want to bring that from the middle section to the side. Okay, here we'll do this one. And in the middle section to the side. Okay, here, keep it going. Okay, and bring. So once you get past your waistline, then it goes down to the groin part. So that's dry brushing. It's a good thing to do. It moves the lymph. It stimulates the nerve cells and it exfoliates the skin. And it's pretty fast. Okay, the next thing we want to do is talk about moving it. You want to move because that is how there's no pump involved with the lymph. You have to move your muscles in order for the lymph to move it. Moving it is what makes it work. So if, let's say you're bedridden and you're in a chair, you really can't move that much. And check with your doctor first. I don't want to tell you anything that might hurt you. Check with your doctor to see if it's okay to squeeze your muscles. Just squeeze, start with your toes, squeeze your toes and squeeze your calves, squeeze your hamstrings and your quads, squeeze your tummy, squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your back, arms, neck, face, squeeze, 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 pull your tummy in, squeeze, and now let it go. You move those muscles, but you haven't moved around and you still got a little help for your immune system. Now, another really good way to move your lymph is getting in a pool. Think about it. You get in the water and the water pushes on your whole body, gets that lymph moving again. And if you work out in the pool, that's even better because you're moving more things and the water is helping you. One nice thing about it is that if you exercise in the pool, your knees don't hurt you as much, your hips don't hurt you as much, your ankles don't hurt you because you're cushioned. And it's a nice thing to do. Also, another benefit is, let's say you're doing bicep curls and you're moving slowly. Well, that might be equivalent to maybe a 2-pound weight. Now, if you do it faster, it's a lot harder to do it faster in the water. And so now it's more equivalent to, say, a 10-pound weight. I'm not exactly sure of what the numbers are, but you can see how that would work. And so you can determine how much resistance you want on your muscles just by how fast you move in the water. And if you don't have access to a pool right now, maybe you can find one at the high school or a community ed center, or hopefully maybe your insurance will pay for your health club. It's just a good thing to do, is to get in the water. Now, also, we're going to do another thing. I have a surprise for you. Okay, I have a trampoline. And this works pretty well. So I'm just going to bounce a little bit, like when I do it. And if you have one and you're not used to it, get a chair so you can hang on. I try to do it about 200 bounces. I'm not going to do that for here, but what's happening is that you have those lymph vessels, all right, and they have valves, little valves. So like this. And when the lymph is going up, when you're bouncing and you release gravity, they go and the lymph goes up, and then the little valves close and it can't go backwards, so it can't go down, it only can go up. That's what you're doing here. And you say, well, I don't want to buy a trampoline. What else can I do? So I'll show you. So this is from Qigong or Tai Chi. It's called bouncing. And if you look, I'm just lifting my heels up and bringing them down. So here we're going to bounce, and you want to be as loose as you can be. So you bounce. Does the same thing. It's the same kind of deal that the trampoline will do to get your lymph coming up and not going down. So there you go, and be loose about it. The Chinese call it bouncing away 1,000 illnesses. Okay, so one of the last things I want to talk about is your attitude. So they took a bunch of people, they took their blood, took a sample of their blood, measured how many immune cells they had in their bloodstream. And then they had them watch a terrible movie like war or killing or really depressing things. And then they took the blood again right after, and it was their blood had significantly less immune cells in it. They just kind of, the stress and things will just kill off some of your immune cells, and you don't want to do that. So, but they also said the good news is that, I mean, I know sometimes you really can't help not watching that stuff, but the good news is that if you tend to be a happier person, the immune cells build back up again faster than if you're kind of a gloom and doomy person. So think about that when you want to become a gloom and doomy person, that you really doesn't help you. You want to be happy. And happy is go with the flow. That's what they call it. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something. If you want to go over, so I thought my diagram was kind of cool. It really looked cool by the time I finished it. I will include where I got some of this information from in books and things, so that you can reference that. And thank you for coming, and I hope I see you again. Subscribe, comment, whatever. Have a good day.